Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DKWILL, and this is DK. We'll talk about it.
Today is the day of the launch of the XRP Mastercard, Gemini and Ripple working together with $75 million worth of backing to release this Mastercard today. And I thought I'd do a little video on it to talk about it because, as you'll recall, I've made a video previously a few days back. Let me see here. It was about 2 weeks back, this one here with the bull, and discouraging the use of spending your XRP at McDonald's, like the Bitcoin pizza ordeal. However, let me put things into perspective on how I actually view this new development, which will be very beneficial for XRP holders in the position of not having to sell XRP. Excuse me. It says, get ready, crypto enthusiasts. 2025 just got a lot more exciting. The XRP Mastercard isn't just another card tied to a token. It's a step into the future of payments. Now that's where I want to go, because when you think of real world asset tokenization, this is where basically anywhere Mastercard is accepted, you can spend your XRP, not just at McDonald's. And so, in other words, it gives you the opportunity to spend XRP while at the same time helping Gemini increase their assets under management. But it gives you the opportunity to spend your XRP without actually kind of selling it, but you will be making a trade. So, yeah, it encourages people to be a little bit more financially savvy, because that's what I want to talk about and why I think this is a good development. However, I don't necessarily think it's a good time to start spending. It says backed by Gemini, Ripple, and MasterCard. Those are the types of collaborations I've been talking about: acquisitions, collaborations, partnerships. We're about to take off here, baby, and this is how it's done, and this is how it becomes win-win for some of the other players, and it takes away some of the threat from some of the old establishment when they can get involved with this and benefit from the knowledge and technology of the new ones like the Ripples and even the Geminis. It says this card aims to make spending crypto in everyday life a reality. And what I want to compare it to, just to give an idea, is in my prior videos as well, and I continue to do so, recommend gold, precious metals, and even silver now on Glint. And Glint is a way that you can spend with a MasterCard just as much as you can spend XRP with a MasterCard. And I'm using this as a way to help conceptualize what this really means. Am I willing to spend gold? I kind of am, because I do have the Glint card in the Glint account. I don't do it quite frequently, but yes, I do. I believe in this because I believe gold is a valuable asset. And that's where the real world tokenization comes in. Because, for instance, right now the price of gold is at $3,372, we'll say, just to make it easy. And so what that means is when you spend a portion of your gold holdings. In other words, if you hold an ounce of gold at 33.71 and you go to the sporting goods store and you buy $372 worth of goods, well, you're going to spend $372 worth of your gold ounce is what you're going to do. The same then would apply with spending your Ripple. Now, here's where the real world tokenization of assets comes into play. If you've tokenized your gold, and you've tokenized your real estate, and you've tokenized your crypto holdings, to say, and you've tokenized your stock holdings, and you've tokenized your IRA, and you've tokenized all your assets, now you can be discretionary on what assets you actually spend. Let's say I don't want to spend my XRP right now. It's not a good market. I don't want to spend it in this market. I'd rather spend some of the equity on my home that I have tokenized. And so let's say you have $150,000 worth of equity in your home. So instead of using your tokenized XRP, you'll use your tokenized equity in your home. And instead of using your tokenized equity in your home, you'll use your portfolio holdings of gold or silver at a place like Glint, where they have a MasterCard. You see how you can manipulate this and you can use this, and then spending and finances becomes exactly what Ripple's goal was. It becomes more democratized. It takes away that master control of the financial system. Now, of course, they're going to come at it to get fees. Ergo, here comes MasterCard. When I had an online business, I know that credit card charges were about 2.9% of the sale. So they'll get their money too. And now they don't have such a big threat because with the tokenization of all types of assets, it actually extends their reach and their base of revenue. And so this is actually a good thing. The only thing I'll say is that for now, with the price of XRP being kind of depressed, I wouldn't necessarily spend my XRP. That's my point. But with the tokenization, it's a very, very nice project. And of course, I'm sure you've seen other producers of content show the ad that was out there. It talks about the genesis of the XRP Mastercard, born out of Ripple's long-standing mission, turning crypto into real-world money you can actually spend. And that's why I loved Glint so much, because you can't carry gold around. You can't carry a bar of gold around in a scraper and say, here's your dust for that, here's your dust for that. But you can carry the MasterCard. And so now with this, with your XRP, now let's say XRP does go to like $100 in XRP or $1,000 in XRP. And I think even more than that. Let's make it the price of gold, $3,000 per XRP. Now maybe I'll spend some XRP. So if it's $3,000, just like gold is per ounce, and I'm going to spend some XRP, and let's say I have 10,000 XRP. If I have 10,000 XRP and it's $3,000 a coin, you might think I'm crazy for saying this, but I don't think I'm crazy for saying this. That's $30 million to spend. Swipe away, baby, swipe away. That's where I'm at with this. And that's why I think this is such a wonderful idea. Not because I think it's the market's ready for you to be willing to give up your XRP for its current price. What is its current price? Well, as we can see, its current price right now is $2.95. Now that's a very good price for those who have been around a while, way back when it was 1/10 of that, even 1/20th of that, even 1/50th of that. Of course, that's a good price. But is it a good price for the asset itself? I don't think so. So, in other words, I'm not willing to sell XRP right now at $2.95. So, if I'm not willing to sell XRP right now at $2.95, I'm also not willing to swipe my XRP MasterCard because there's really no difference in doing so. Now, I could talk about the article features in here and everything and read the article to you, but that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I want to help understand the concept of how this is such a good thing in the sense of familiarizing yourselves with the prospect and the concept of actually spending your tokenized assets. That's really where I'm going with this. And so, like I mentioned, Glenn shot it off when they started saying you can use gold as money, spending gold as money, right? And so they actually have a vault. You actually buy gold, you hold the gold the same way you buy crypto. The difference is with gold, it's a physical product, and with XRP, it's a software product. But see, you still own it, and now you can spend it. And so, as this system continues to be in place, and when I say system, I mean new monetary system. As this new monetary system continues to grow and mature and go into place, we can expect that a lot of things are going to be tokenized. And if you get started now in understanding this concept of tokenizing your assets, you also understand where the blockchain comes in handy, where it breaks it down to maybe anywhere from 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 decimal points. And so, like I mentioned before, let's say you have an IRA and you say, I want my IRA tokenized. I want it tokenized with an access to spend, and that's what's going to happen, people. That's just what's going to happen, and then platforms like the XRPL, the Stellar Lumens platform, the ZBEC platform, all those platforms, payment platforms, the AMP platform is to collateralize the purchases, but nonetheless, those things will handle those type of expenditures, and all you'll have to do really is be selective on which asset you're going to spend. And that will very likely happen on your phone. These cards are already able to be put on your phone. And so the newer generations of people will find it much easier to adapt and adopt this concept Older folks, the MasterCard will help them get their way into it and then learn as you go. But as long as they can swipe a MasterCard, they'll be okay. If you're as old as me, you remember when you used to have to carry a card, they put it in the swiper, literally physically swiped it with carbon paper and everything and signed it and then gave you your carbon copy. And none of that's necessary now. Well, that's just the maturation of a monetary system. And so now that we see this XRP Mastercard coming out, it's not a first. Let's be clear. It's not a first, but it's worth me talking about because I don't necessarily want you spending your XRP. Let me rephrase that. I wouldn't be spending my XRP on a MasterCard or a sell on an exchange or anywhere at $2.95. I'm not in XRP for trading and for making quick profits. I'm in XRP for hodling and waiting for some targets. And when those targets come through and I tokenize my XRP, you bet your bottom bitty I'll spend it. And that's what a couple few years ago I was talking about, where you may never have to sell your XRP. You just hold on to it, and here we go, gorilla grip, baby. You just hold on to it, and as it appreciates in value, your net worth appreciates in value. Therefore, your tokenized assets increase in value. Therefore, you are able to spend them, MasterCard or whatever other means there is, QR codes or whatever it is. You'll be able to spend them almost like sci-fi movies where you wonder where's the money in these sci-fi movies? Well, they're in the virtual space. I'm not ready for them to put any little rice kernels on my right hand or anything on my forehead, but that's where things are going. And so this is a great development, I think. I will I get one? Probably yes. Will I use it? Probably not. Probably not. I probably won't use it until the price goes up, which I like this one here. Why timing matters. Okay. I don't know what they said. I haven't read it. I don't care what they said. What I care about is where my timing matters. And I'm not ready to spend my XRP at $2.95 a token. I'm not ready to do that. Am I ready to tokenize it on a MasterCard? Yeah. I still own it. But I'm not ready to buy McDonald's with it either. I'm not ready to buy a pizza with it either. There's a lot of better options to use to do that. But at the same time, Gemini is about to get a boost in their business because it's a Gemini MasterCard, but you can expect others to follow. I'm sure we can expect others to follow. And I hope that you also follow me. So if you haven't liked the video, please like this video. Please subscribe. Please come back. Please share. Please ask questions. Please comment. Please make your statements. Please have a wonderful day. I'm DK Will, and this is DK Will Talk About It. And I talked about it.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.